Uh, the other part of the menu I want to talk about it is this status bar here. So it's at the very lower, uh, I would say, right corner of the AutoCAD, and the status bar is very important. It's gonna really make life easy when we are working with that when we want to do the drawing. Before I go ahead and talk a little bit about the status bar, one thing I want to show you is that there's a three horizontal line here. If you click on them, it will open this menu. So if you come at the corner, there's this customization, and if you click on that, it's gonna open that. And this one is just anything that has a check next to that is going to be appear in this window. If there is no uh, check next to that, is not going to be appear here. So this check mark is going to say that show, or it tells you what is going to be show or what's going to be hide in this status bar. Remember that these are not going to turn on or turn off any of the feature. It just show it or hide it when you click on that. So if, for example, later on I show something here that you don't see it here, you probably needs to come here and it's hidden, so you have to click on that to make it shown here. Uh, throughout when we are going to throughout the other part of that course, um, I will tell you how we are going to use these things here just as a very um, quick um, uh, I would say introduction, just tell you how they are going to help us, some of them, and then later on in detail we will use them and you will see how we will use them. For example, here assume I want to draw a line that I'm going to make sure it's going to be horizontal or vertical. Um, if all of those features that's going to, for example, let me also turn this off. If I go ahead and try the line, click on the line here. So if I go here on the menu, click on the line, and then I want to draw the horizontal line, sometimes it's not going to be that easy to draw the horizontal line as I wanted, unless I know exactly the location. So or the same as a vertical one. If I want some help for that, what I can do is that I come here and click on this ortho mode. If I click on that and I turn it on, and now if I go ahead and click on the line again, look at here, if I start to draw the line, it just let me to draw either horizontally or vertically. It doesn't let me to do anything else. So if I only want to draw some horizontal or vertical line, that's the one I wanted, because it's going to help me to do that. It just help me to draw the horizontal or vertical line. I'm going to make sure all the line I have are going to be horizontal or vertical, like that. So for example, that's one of the features that's going to help us. Otherwise, if I don't want it, I'm going to turn it off. Another thing is that sometimes when I want to draw, like here, uh, I may need some help of drawing, and you see right now the AutoCAD doesn't give me much help of what I'm drawing. But if I come here and click on this second icon here that we call the polar tracking, if I turn it on, it's gonna gives me some idea what I'm doing. So when click on the line and I go ahead, you see that green line, the green dash line is just presented, and it gives me some idea. Okay, if you go on that, you are gonna be horizontal, or if you go on that's gonna be vertical, or any other angle that I probably want to use them. It gives me some help in drawing. And if you click on the arrow next to that, it will gives you how it's gonna on what angles is gonna give you some help or some tracking, so you know that where you're doing is right now. Right now is at 90, 100, 200, 300. So if whenever I start drawing the line, so if I want to draw the horizontally, it show that green line, it means that okay, you're on the horizontal. If I go to the 90 degrees, that green line also again present. If I go to 120, that green line present. The same at 207. If I want other angles, with other angles, for example, the 45 degrees, 90 degrees, like that, I can come here and click on that, and then it gives me help. For example, go here, it gives me help when I go, for example, on 45 degrees or 90 degrees, or so every 45 degrees is gonna gives me some tracking line, so I know that I'm on the line, on the angle that I want. Anyway, so that's a very helpful feature, and I suggest you to leave it on exact at 90 degrees in particular for your drawing. So assume I have a line, so I assume I draw a line, and then I want to start the next line. I did something, and I want to start my next line right out from the end of this line I have here. If let me, so I turn them, I try to draw the next line, you will see that it doesn't help me, so I cannot start to draw the next line. I can zoom in unless I know exactly the coordinate of that point to start from that. The AutoCAD is not going to help me to start from that point. If I turn also the auto, it's going to help me to start from that point. So if I click on that, the AutoCAD, when I want to draw the line, anytime I get close to that, it will tell me, okay, it will snap to that, and then it's going to let me to start from that point. That object snap that you have, if I go ahead and click next on the arrow next to that, you will see that it asks you whatever you want to be a snap, for example, the end points or the middle point or whatever you want it to help you to snap to that point. So because it's the end point, anytime I want to draw the line, if I bring my cursor close to that line, it's gonna snap to end of that line, and then I can and draw that one. The other things in this snap, in this status bar here, is this um, in gear bar here. If you click on gear bar, you can switch between the 2D and 3D modeling. Is that right now that I'm in 2D drawing, and if I go ahead, for example, let me just draw something here. So I assume I draw something like that. And then I come here and I click on the 3D modeling. It will switch to the 3D modeling, and you will see that the top menus, everything changed. Then here you have the command for 3D drawing, and there are all those 2D drawing comes here, but the basics of the 3D blocks are gonna be presented here, and this is when you can start to do the 3D drawing. If I want to go back, I can again go back here, click on that, and click on draft and annotation, and it takes me back to the 2D drawing menus as we have it here again. So there are other options here, and there are some options here that I will talk about them later on, how to turn them on, how to turn them off, how to work with them.